Africa, it's sort of like the future of space. More African countries are trying to develop space program. We even estimate that by 2026, at least 21 African countries would have launched a satellite. So more countries are developing satellite, more budget is going into space program, more technologies are being built, and much more importantly, we're also seeing the rise of new space companies on the continent that are contributing to like the global value chain. So Africa has always been, a good place to test technology, and we're also seeing a lot of opportunities there. And more importantly, Africa also provides the opportunity for international cooperation for a lot of other countries. So a lot of work has been done with Europe. A lot of work is currently being done with China. The US is also trying to do stuff with Africa. So Africa sort of like provide, opportunity to promote and improve diplomacy through space. You see, one of the opportunities that Africa actually offers today in the global satellite market is the fact that number one, Africa has a large pool of young people, young engineers. Um, Africa also relatively has cheaper labor than what you've got in Europe or in America or elsewhere. Um, Now, with those two characteristics, you can actually capitalize on that to build manufacturing and set up like satellite manufacturing plants on the continent to cater for global demand. The problem a lot of countries make is oftentimes they think Africa is charity and hey, we're just giving, but partnership is supposed to be about mutual benefit. Today, Europe would rather fund the projects that train African countries on how to use satellite data than fund the projects that would train African engineers how to build satellites. Um, Now, of course, in a way, this may be beneficial to Europe because when you do that, what you're doing is you're promoting dependencies on European technology, and you're promoting dependencies on European expertise. The problem is that there is not a lot of competition from from China, and from Russia. So if Europe does not do this, China is going to do that, and Russia is going to do that. And what you eventually see is that even though Europe has been the biggest foreign investor in the African space market, it's likely that Europe would not be the biggest beneficiary of the growth in the industry. If Africa is demanding this and Europe, instead of offering what Africa is demanding, they are offering what they think Africa needs. If China is able to offer what Africa is asking for, then what you see is that the shift would go from Europe to China. And we're already seeing this. Europe needs to they need to modify their cooperation agenda with Africa in a way that suits what the demand is at this time. I think the basics is, we need to understand first of all, what Europe's mission in Africa is and what the strategy to achieve that is. Space is big. Space is very big and too big for just one country to be able to do everything by themselves. So space cooperation is very critical for space program development. So far, for example, Africa is unable to launch its satellites on its soil. So which means if any African country want to launch a satellite today, they have to cooperate with whether it's Russia or China or Europe or the US. in order to be able to launch that technology. Similar on the technology manufacturing side, many of the countries are unable to manufacture their technology. Oftentimes, they also don't care. It's, they work with whoever is available. So, if Europe is available, they work with Europe. If China comes, and the terms are okay, they want to work with China, they want to work with US.